I think I've seen this picture before.
Where?
In a book. There's a British biochemist called Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory. Mein Mikrofonständer hat sich wieder verabschiedet, ey. Vielleicht so? Okay, sorry für die Störgeräusche, ey. Ich muss das Ding echt mal ersetzen. War's das mit den... Also, stehst du jetzt still? Ja? Okay. He has a rather interesting theory. I saw this picture in his book. What's this interesting theory? Morphogenetic field, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance. Man, I can't deal with this. Just listening to you about it is giving me a headache. Sander put his hands on his head, as though he were in great pain. Ja, das glaube ich ihm. Lotus merely arched an eyebrow in his direction and continued. Lotus, du hast das nicht nötig. It's not a difficult concept to grasp. In essence, he states that the shapes of living organisms and their behavioral patterns are transmitted through a field not visible to the eye. What part of it isn't difficult exactly? Lotus did not look pleased. Alright, how about this? Theory of the telepathic mechanism. Telepathy? Yes, telepathy. Telepathy oder telepathy? Ich weiß es nicht. Well, perhaps not exactly telepathy, but it is close enough for a simple approximation. Santa suddenly burst into laughter. Are you serious? Telepathy? Who do you think we are, kids from the 70s? I can't believe someone would actually do some serious research on something like that. Yes, I agree. Lotus's response was surprisingly curt. Junpei had expected at least some conflict. I read the book, but I can hardly say I understood it. I'm in no position to defend or condemn anything it said. It was probably just someone latching onto a statistical outlier from some study and turning it into a ridiculous theory. There's no scientific merit to any of it, I'm sure. But even so, Anyway, I saw a picture like that on one of his books. Lotus indicated the picture they'd all been looking at. After a moment, she walked up to the strange picture, examined it, and then spoke. Hey, what do you think this picture looks like? Santa answered first. What do you mean? Isn't it just, like, abstract or something like that? It's just a black and white scribbles. There's no meaning there. That's it. What about you, Junpei? Does it look like anything to you? I guess it looks like a man's face, a butterfly, a koi, a dog, a small boat floating in a lake. Funyarimpa. I gotta look that up. What is a Funyarimpa? Funyarimpa. Lol. A man's face, a butterfly, a koi, a dog, a small boat floating in a lake. Ich mache jetzt einfach mal das. Ich habe mich jetzt schon gespoilert, was es ist, aber... A Funyarimpa? See? I mean, this totally looks like one. Here and here. Junpei indicates part of the picture that looked exactly like the other parts. After 3 seconds of silence, Lotus looked at Junpei. What the hell is a Funyarimpa? Irgendwas klopft hier. What do you mean, what the hell is a funyarimpa? You mean you don't know? How the hell would I know? How could you not know? That's practically blasphemous. So you're sorry. Say you're sorry. Apologize to the funyarimpa. Goodness, you are such a rude woman. Another 3 seconds of awkward silence went by. Lotus opened her mouth as she shook. Junpei, are you just screwing around? Forget it. I'm just gonna tell you. This is a dog. See, like this. Lotus pointed out parts of the picture and eventually a dog took shape in them. Oh, it looked as though she had a point. Oh, jetzt sehe ich's auch. It was a dog. Santa also nodded in agreement. So? Now we know what it's a picture of, but I don't see how that helps us. Lotus nodded and began to speak. A TV show from Great Britain did an experiment once. They took 2 similar pictures. Both of them were difficult to identify initially, but once you'd figured out the answer, you couldn't see it as anything else. The first picture was a woman wearing a hat. The other one, well, to make it easier, let's just say it was this picture of a dog. So, their experiment. First, they sent the picture to other parts of the world where British radio and television didn't reach. To Ireland, the US. Ich finde es so witzig, dass der erste Gedanke war, okay, wir müssen das jetzt an Länder senden, die definitiv kein britisches Radio oder Fernsehen hören. Ireland, direkt nebenan. Let's go. Ireland, the US, Africa, Europe, etc. Then in each country they gathered a number of test subjects. All in all there were roughly 1,000 people. Those 1,000 people were shown the 2 pictures and asked, what does this picture look like to you? The results in and of themselves were not terribly interesting. 9.2% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. 3.9% saw the dog in the dog picture. Then, 2 days later, they broadcast a new show. During the 30-minute show, they broadcast the dog picture and its solution. The audience was estimated to be 200,000 people. After the broadcast, it could be assumed that the number of people who knew the solution to the dog picture now totaled over 200,000 people. After another 2 days had passed, they gathered a number of research subjects from areas where British TV and radio did not exist. This time they were only able to find a sample of roughly 850 people. Naturally, none of them were people who had participated in the first test. They were, however, given the same test and the same 2 pictures. The results were shocking. 10% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. The previous test had yielded a 9.2% success rate. The change was not statistically significant. The dog picture, however, produced a very different result. The percentage of people able to successfully find the dog grew from 3.9% to 6.8%, a very significant increase. So, do you understand? Do you realize the significance of this experiment? There was no way the second group could have seen the picture. They lived far away from Britain and couldn't have seen the picture. But even so, it was only the success rate for the dog picture that went up. Why? How did that happen? What does it mean? Lotus looked back and forth, from Junpei to Santa and back again. Normally calm and collected, she looked now as though she were very nearly possessed, and there was something manic about her manner. Santa took an involuntary step backwards. Junpei didn't budge, and stared straight back into Lotus's eyes. Does this have something to do with that field or whatever it was that you were talking about earlier? A field not visible to the eye. So if more people know the answer, then that information will pass through the field. Psych! Her manner suddenly shifted and Lotus smiled broadly at Junpei and Santa. She waved her hand dismissively, doing her best to laugh the whole confrontation off. I was just kidding. You really shouldn't take me seriously. Well, I mean, the things I just told you about are true. They really did happen. But the result of the experiment really aren't anything to go by. They could have easily falsified them. In the end, I'm sure they were just in it for the ratings. They are a TV station after all. At last, it seemed that Santa had gained control of his composure. Right! Man, I gotta admit, you had me there for a minute. I really thought you were serious. Of course not. Like I told you before, I'm sure it's all just pseudoscience. Oh, okay, right. Santa and Lotus laughed and gave one another jovial claps on the shoulder. Junpei, however, didn't feel so much like laughing. Something felt wrong. Unclear. Alright, enough nonsense. We've got the key. Let's get out of here. Word. Lotus and Santa walked away from the picture. But Junpei stayed, staring at the picture of a dog. A field not visible to the naked eye. Morphogenetic field. The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. Sehr merkwürdiger Encounter. Alright, let's go to the hallway. I'll go get June. You guys go to the door. Okay. Roger that. Yes, it unlocked. Good job, Junpei. Good, now we can get going. Come on, what are you guys standing around for? Let's get out of here. Other. Hey, Junpei, where are you going? Oh, I was going to get you. I know, Santa told me. Come on, let's go. Okay. Come on, Junpei, let's go. Alright, let's go. Wir haben es geschafft. Freiheit. You found it. They stepped through the door to find themselves in a wide hallway. Junpei, June, Lotus, and Santa stopped for a moment and looked at their surroundings. A short distance away, a metal grate extended across the width of the hallway. They took hold and shook, but it refused to move. Nearby was a pair of elevators. It took only a few button presses to determine that the elevators would not respond to their efforts. They could only assume the elevators were not powered. There was only one door left. Mir ist gerade ein Gedanke gekommen, wegen dem Morphogenetic etc. Und es ist das, worüber ich... es gibt eine Art Game, der so ein bisschen so ja, Pick Your Path ist. Und manche Paths führen aber in Dead Ends. Und basically, um an diesem Dead End weiterzukommen, musst du einen anderen Path nehmen. Da kommst du eventuell an Dead Ends, aber dort sind Informationen, die du für das andere Dead End brauchst. You know what I'm saying? Ich meine, mich erinnern zu können, dass, ich habe den Titel von dem Spiel nie gesagt, 9 Hours, 9 People, 9 Doors. So heißt es, glaube ich, oder? Warte. 9 Hours, 9 People, 9 Doors, ja. Dass das so eine Art Spiel ist. Und dass wir durch Morphogenetic etc. an diese Informationen kommen, die wir auf anderen Parts brauchen. Ich weiß es aber nicht genau. Ich gehe hier komplett blind rein, ne? Ich weiß nicht, ob ich es erwähnt habe. Ich gehe komplett blind rein. Well, looks like we don't have any choice. Yeah. Sure does. Well then, let's open it. Junpei grabbed hold of the knob and quietly pushed the door open. He entered slowly, trying to take in as much of his surroundings as he could. The others followed shortly. Oh, so it's a kitchen. Ja, damit kennst du dich nicht aus, ne? Sexistisches Dreckschwein. Santa did not look pleased.
What were you expecting?
Isn't it obvious? The exit. I was hoping this would be the way out of here. Hey, you really think it'd be that easy? Yeah, I know, still. As they talked, Lotus headed deeper into the room. Until at last she stood in front of a door. If we can just get through this door, we should come out on the other side of that grate we saw earlier. But we don't need a key for that. Don't we need a key for that? Sorry, I guess that wasn't very constructive. Neither Junpei nor Lotus looked terribly happy. Junpei dug the ship map from his pocket and spread it out in front of him. As he did.
Hey.
What's that?
Huh?
Oh, I guess I forgot to tell you. I found this a little while ago. It's a map of the B-deck. Before Junpei could finish, Lotus snatched the map away from him. She ran her finger across it, muttering to herself.
I knew it. See? Look.
Junpei did as she was told. Santa and June moved over to look at the map as well.
See? We came in here. If we go out there, then we'll be on the other side of the grate.
With her finger, Lotus traced the path on the map. She was right. Satisfied that she had been correct, Lotus folded the map and handed it back to Junpei. He took it and slid the valuable piece of paper back into his pocket.
There's a card reader on the right side of the door.
Then that means the key card is somewhere in here, right?
That seems most likely.
Alright, we know what we need to do then. Let's get moving. First off, I say we split up and look for clues.
Okay.
Seek a way out. Okay. Wir sind hier. Da ist die Tür, wo wir raus müssen. Das ist die Tür, in der wir da reingekommen sind. Let's go. Let's get searching. A voucher. It says Appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish 4 F. Those 9 plates look pretty expensive.
They're plates for appetizers.
Remember, appetizers usually come on square plates. Okay, well, excuse me, princess. 1, 2, 3, there's 10 of them. If you flip these over, they look like heads. The middle is super deep for a plate.
They are soup plates. They are made that way so the soup doesn't spill.
If we ever get out of here, you should treat yourself to a nice dinner out. What makes you think a poor college student has the money to do something like that? Ich fühle dich sehr, Junpei.
I think there are 15 of these plates.
I'm assuming they're for seafood. How the hell can you tell that? They look just like any other plate from the 99-cent store.
If you ever take a lady out to dinner, you're going to embarrass yourself.
I feel sorry for June. Why the hell are you bringing up June?
The lady doth protest too much, methinks.
You are not terribly subtle. Oh, she can smell the bullshit. There's a bunch of little wavy ridges on this plate.
Those plates are for serving meat.
You really are ignorant, aren't you? Come on, it's not like I need to know this crap. Jeez. Okay, was haben wir noch hier? A countertop. I've got a rolling pin and a colander. Nothing useful, in other words. Ich habe keine Ahnung, was das ist. That's the exit. There's a big old iron plate over the door. I don't think we can open it.
Hey Santa, could you open that door please?
What the hell? There's no way I could open that thing. Guess you're getting to that age where your eyes start to go, huh? Alter, ich klatsch den an die Wand, ey. You'd better watch your mouth, boy, or someone won't live long enough to see that door opened. Get his ass. This has got the two of them on edge. We gotta get out of here, and fast. It's a tank with a pipe coming out of it. Nothing really special about it. Okay. Drehen wir uns mal. Gedreht. Okay, wow. This pot looks like it's made out of silver.
I bet drinking tea from this pot would be really yummy.
Spending a day off June drinking tea. Off with June. Could such a day ever happen for me?
Jumpy?
Oh, nothing. We don't really need hot water, so we should be moving on. It's a note. It's got a bunch of stuff written on it, but it doesn't look like a code or anything like that. Der Raum des Käses. Shelf has a white cloth on it.
There's so much stuff in here. A whole lot of cans.
This is probably a pantry. Ein Messer. A rusty knife. I don't think we'll be able to use it while it's like this. The knife seemed important enough, Junpei thought, but it wasn't going to be much use in the way it was.
It's futile.
Futile?
You know, a waste. Useless, pointless.
Oh. Any particular reason you wanted to bring that up?
Oh, no reason really. I was just thinking about futility.
She wasn't making much sense. Junpei tried rephrasing his question. Why were we thinking about futility? At last she answered.
Well, it has something to do with the Titanic.
The Titanic?
Yep. Have you ever heard the story that the sinking of the Titanic was predicted?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. What is it?
In 1892, 14 years before the Titanic sank, a novel was published. It was called Futility. It was written by an American novelist named Morgan Robertson. The story was about a big cruise ship colliding with an iceberg and sinking. Of course, if that was the only similarity, there wouldn't be any reason to mention it. It wasn't though. The name of the ship, its nationality, course, departure time, size, displacement, maximum speed, number of passengers and crew, the number of lifeboats, even the location of the accident itself and the cause and the location of the damage. Everything matches the Titanic almost exactly. It was almost as if he'd seen the whole thing happen. But this book was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But that's not all. It wasn't just futility that predicted the sinking of the Titanic. There were two other similar stories written by a man named William Thomas Stead. Both of them before the accident. One in 1886 and one in 1892. Stead wrote two stories that had striking similarities to the Titanic disaster. In one, two ships collided and many of the passengers died because there weren't enough lifeboats. In the other, a ship collided with an iceberg and sank. I don't know. I mean, I give you that it seems a little weird, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't too uncommon for ships to hit icebergs back in the day, or even other ships. Right. I knew you'd say that. But what if Stead had some sort of special powers? To be more specific, what if he had the ability to do automatic writing?
What? Automatic writing? Why are you... Wait, are you talking about that thing where someone says they're possessed by a spirit? And then they write a bunch of stuff without knowing what they're writing?
Yes.
What do you mean, yes? That's a load of bull. Okay, so let's say, hypothetically, that automatic writing isn't a total load. These guys still couldn't have predicted the sinking of the Titanic. When this Stead dude
wrote his thing. Nobody had died on the Titanic yet. So if automatic writing is about being possessed by spirits of dead people, who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff? That's not it. What's not it? His dad wasn't possessed by a spirit. He was doing the possessing. What are you smoking? William Thomas' dad was a passenger on the Titanic. He just wrote down what he saw with his own eyes, 20 years before it happened. He decided it was probably best to say nothing. What June was saying was insane and utterly absurd. If he tried to take what she was saying seriously, he'd go mad. Junpei smiled uncomfortably. Well, why don't we talk about this some other time, okay? Huh? But... Her voice trailed off, and she glanced at the floor, troubled. Junpei tapped June gently on the shoulder and awkwardly reached around her to pick up the knife from the box. Sehr, sehr, sehr merkwürdiges Mädchen. Surge. You're really in trouble. I know I'm just repeating myself, but this is really a futility moment. This blade is so rusty. Yeah, I know. We can't cut a damn thing with a knife like this. If we're going to cut anything, we probably have to sharpen the knife. There are cans lining every shelf here. Wooden box on the second row though. Cheese. There are a number of cheeses lined up on the shelf. This is Gouda cheese, the most famous Dutch cheese. If you don't cut open the casing, it usually won't go bad, so you can store it at room temperature for quite a while. So we can eat this? Most likely. I'm not hungry at all. Guess it's hard to get hungry in a situation like this. Mit einer Bombe in deinem Bauch. Hey, there's something behind the cheese. You're right. Why don't we move some of the cheese? Alright guys, time to move. Time to move it. June and I need to look behind you. There is a little green bottle back there. Bottle of oil. Ah, look, cooking oil. You could probably use this to make something slippery. Halt, warte. Ja, schade. Ich dachte, ich könnte damit das Rost irgendwie entfernen. Oder es einschmieren oder sowas. There's a cheese on the shelf. Sweet. No, cheesy. There's milk in there. Milk in an iron barrel. Judging by the rust, it's probably really old. Maybe we shouldn't open it up. I don't think it'd be a pretty sight. Ja, wahrscheinlich nicht. Light is for the pantry. Okay. Wo zur Hölle sind wir? Okay. Wachen wir hier drin? Wir waren... Dann halt warte. Die Türen für den Pantry sind gar nicht eingezeichnet, gell? Maybe this table is for preparing food. There are plates everywhere. Whetstone. Praktisch. A whetstone. What are you planning to do with that? Ah shit, don't tell me you're gonna try and smash open the card reader. Are you an idiot? If you do that, then we'll never get out of here. Oh. Yeah, I guess that would be bad, huh? This whetstone's only gonna be useful if I need to sharpen something. Actually... Maybe I'll use the whetstone to sharpen the knife. The blade of the knife is getting sharper by the second. I should be able to cut something pretty good with this. Yeah. So I guess you managed to sharpen the knife, Junpei. Who are you gonna step with that? No one. You could probably cut something soft with that. Vielleicht ein Käse. Ein Stück Käse, maybe? Okay, back. A sink. It's still got water in it. There are a couple of plates in there, but I don't think they're gonna help us much. Okay, got that. A trash can. There's nothing inside of it. Well, better than being full of rotten food, I guess. Damn it, there's nothing in here. Hey Santa, digging through the trash really suits you. What the hell did you say? Listen, lady, I did you a favor. I knew you'd just piss and moan, so I did it for you. Oh my. I don't recall asking you to do anything. I utter throttle with you. Excuse me. Does it feel cold in here? Oh, a countertop. There's a rolling pin and coal under here. Nothing useful. A rolling pin and coal under, nothing useful. Alright, it's going. Do you think this was all part of Zero's plan? Probably. Kinda hard to believe there's a chef on board somewhere. I wonder what this drawer is. You see the metal grate on top of the grill? They make it like that so that the fat and juices can drip off the meat while it cooks. Ah, und das tropft dann hier rein. I see. It's a grill. There's some coals down here. They're bright red. Grill ready to grill. Drawer seems to be stuck. It won't open. Drawer seems to be stuck. It won't open. Kann ich kein Öl drauf machen oder so? Okay. I guess not. All we've got here is a pot and frying pan. Oh, and a pressure cooker. Well, I guess we could use some of those as weapons. What kind of idiot are you? You're gonna run around holding that thing while you're looking for the dead? Hey man, it was just a joke. Why so serious? Was ist das hier? Here's a display area above the buttons. It looks like you can enter numbers into this thing. Is it an oven timer? It's probably for entering a passcode. After all, the oven door is locked. My guess is it'll open if we put the correct code. Code, huh? An iron oven. Looks pretty heavy duty. It's probably industrial quality. I bet you could cook anything with this. Anyways, let's have a look inside. Damn, I knew it. It's locked. Damn, it didn't work. It doesn't matter how many times you try it. This door isn't going to open until we've solved all the puzzles in this room. I'm sure this is all just part of Zero's plan. I just can't imagine what modus could be. What his modus could be, rather. It's a card reader. Since the light's red, I figure it's probably still locked. The card reader for it's gotta be around here somewhere. The keycard. Ach, ich werde langsam müde. Ich nehme jetzt seit fast 4 Stunden auf. We just gotta find it. Da ist der Grill. Und wir sind wieder hier. Wir haben nicht viel geschafft. Vielleicht können wir ein Stück Käse abschneiden. There's cheese on this shelf. Sweet. Wir meinten, ich könnte aber etwas Weiches schneiden. Aber ich kann anscheinend keinen dieser Käse schneiden. Etwas Weiches. There's an iron plate over the exit. I don't think we can open it while it's like that. For preparing food. Partition. There's nothing special about it. There's a voucher at the end of the counter. This voucher doesn't match the number of plates on the table. It says appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F on the voucher. And the plates on the tables are 9 appetizer, 16 meat, 10 soup and 15 seafood. Maybe they're using hexadecimal here. And hexadecimal is? It's a number system that goes 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10, 11. You're familiar with base 10, right? It's the normal system of numbers. The base 10 equivalents for hexadecimal numbers would go like this. A is 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, E is 14, F is 15. And 10 equals 16. The 10 becomes 16 in base 10. I know it sounds strange, but you can think of it as just 6 letters added onto the normal number system after 9. A is 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, E is 14, F is 15, 10 is 16, and so on. I think I get it. 9 plates for appetizers. 9 is 9 in hexadecimal and decimal. There are 10 soup plates. 10 is A in hexadecimal. There are 15 of these seafood plates. It says F on the voucher. There are 16 meat plates. 16 is written as 10 in hexadecimal. That is nuts. This looks like a serving table. I would imagine food is put here after it's prepared so that the waiters and waitresses can take it out to the customers. But something doesn't seem right here. Why are there so many plates? Euch irgendwas Interessantes in deinen Files? About digital roots? Control string and escape. Nein. This is probably what you're supposed to use to enter the password. Maybe if we put in the right number, it'll open the open door. Hey Junpei, why don't you try entering the numbers we found on the voucher earlier? Ja, das wollte ich machen, dankeschön. The one that said appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F? Yes. Convert 10 A and F to base 10. Where's one shot? No dice. Looks like that's too many numbers. It's like the number on the voucher isn't the actual passcode. Was könnte es sonst sein? There are some bottles of seasoning in here. Frying pan, 2 kinds of pots. Ich krieg langsam echt Hunger, ne? Door seems to be stuck. Won't open. There's nothing inside. Barrel of milk. Cans. This is the door we came through. It's not locked, so we could go back out, but what's the point, right? All that's out there is an iron gate and a dead-end hallway. Yep, might as well be locked for all the good going back there too. 9 plates for appetizers. 9 is 9 hexadecimal and decimal. 10 is 2 plates. 10 is A in hexadecimal. Hexadecimal. I wonder if it's some kind of hint. Yeah, maybe. Junpei, do you remember what I told you about hexadecimal code earlier? Yeah, of course I do. Alright then. Here's a little quiz for you. What would 9 plus F be in base 10? Well, F is 15, so it'll be 9 plus 15, which would be 24, right? That's right. Good job, you're a fast learner. War das der Hint? Looks like the number on the voucher isn't the actual passcode. And plates for appetizers. And once you hit 16, it's 10, so 10 equals 16. 9, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10, 11. That's how you count in hexadecimal. Neun. Plus 10 sind 19. Plus 15 sind 24, 34. Plus 16 sind 40, sind 50. 5 plus 0 ist 5. Number on the voucher is the actual passcode. Display area above the buttons. Ich muss irgendwas übersehen haben. It's only a partition, there's nothing else worth noting here. It's like a bunch of instructions for using the cooking utensils. Nothing really suspicious about that. There's a note here, but it doesn't look like it's very important. Silver pot here. Wow, Jumpy, you can reach really high. Yeah, I can jump pretty high. There we go. Bin gerade ein bisschen lost. D. It's a sink with water in it. There are a couple of plates in the water. Oder? Nee, ich bin gerade komplett lost. What the hell am I supposed to do? Grill ready to grill. Wow, what a nice dish rack. I'd love to have that in my kitchen. Why don't you take it back with you? Are you offering to carry it for me? Why don't you ask 7? You're kidding. You don't honestly think I'd let a beast like that into my home, right? Do you? Oh Jesus, das ist gemein. Dish rack, it's filled with plates and cups. Ich muss irgendwas übersehen. Es muss richtig obvious sein. Oh, lights. It's nice to have something finally go our way. Pot on top of the stove. There are some ingredients around here. I could cook something up for us. Those you can actually cook. Who the hell do you think I am? You better believe I know how to boil hot water and put in my instant noodles. And I can boil eggs too. Bottles of seasoning. Partition. You see that action movie that came out last week? Nah, I heard it was critically panned. I don't know, it's pretty enjoyable with a little pot. Oh Gott, ich hasse das. Oh! It's a bolt. And it's really rusty. Will this even open? Wie habe ich das übersehen können? We won't know till we try. Let's give it a shot. Alright, let's see if you're gonna come out. Damn, no dice. This bolt is rusted in place. It won't budge. Of course. Maybe if I put some oil on it. Hey, just a little bit of oil and... Come on. Come on, you little son of a bitch. Whoa. Ha, yes! Got you, you little bastard. You did it, Junpei. You're so smart. No, I'm just brute forcing it. As Junpei walked into the room, a blast of cold air washed over him. Almost instinctively, he folded his arms tight across his chest, doing what he could to conserve body heat. Brr, it's cold in here. What is this place? Are you blind? It's a freezer. Santa's teeth had already begun to chatter. Hardly surprising. The freezer was far too cold for someone dressed as he was. Lotus, however, was in an even worse situation. Oh, no way. That's way too cold for me. I'll freeze solid in seconds. Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm going to leave the rest to you. And with that, she ran out of the room. As Lotus left, June came in. Wow, it's really cold in here. White puffs of steam covered in front of their faces as they talked. June had already started to shiver. Hey, you don't need to be in here. You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside, we got this. No, I'm fine. My fever's gone now. But... Junpei had scarcely opened his mouth when the thunderous sound of metal upon metal rang out from behind them. In unison they spun around to find that the door they had only recently came through was closed.